We're really thankful that you've invited us to come in and talk and to share a little bit of our job that we do today on a day-to-day basis. And just to get you familiar with the Public Safety Department, we have 3 divisions in the Public Safety Department. We have the police, the fire, and the ambulance. And on the police force, we have right now, we have 31 officers. In the last 2 years, we've gained 2 last year and 1, 2 years ago and 1 last year. So we're trying to keep up with the demands that are put upon us. But even today, our officers are taking more details than they did 3 years ago, even after adding 3 guys. So we're continuing getting more and more requests for service, and we're trying to keep up with the demand by getting more officers. But it really comes down to budgeting issues and can we afford to keep up with all the personal needs that we have. So we have 31 officers, and then on our EMS crew, we have 1 full-time guy, Don Thomas. He is also our emergency manager's service director. So he teaches our CERT teams, our volunteers for that, and he takes care of all of the EMTs. And they are considered part-time, meaning that while they don't work 40 hours a week, they work less than 20 typically, and they get a wage for each hour that they work. And so we have typically on a day-to-day basis, we have 4 ambulance calls each day. And so some of those times 2 ambulances go out at one time. So there might be as many as 4 individuals running on EMT in any 1 hour or less. So those guys are different levels of EMTs. We have right up to the highest level, an advanced EMT, which is just below a paramedic. Some of your firemen and paramedics over in the Provo-Orem area are a little bit higher than that. They can push more drugs basically. And they can do a little bit more medical services for a patient. But we have some good qualified individuals that run, and then we have some that are in training, and we try to keep that staff up through the year. But there's a lot of turnover because it's a high demand job. It's a lot of calls are at night, and during the day they're taken away from their other full-time jobs that they have. So that's our EMTs. And then our fire crews, we have a fireman here today. At least I think I saw Wignall come in. Yeah. Where is he? No, back there hiding. You can't hide. So he's one of our volunteer firemen. I was talking to Shirley Jordan with the. Hey, when I'm talking, you're listening. I have to tell that to my scouts when I teach them at my house. But nevertheless, we have about 30 volunteer firemen also. They get paid just a little bit of money to be on call 24/7. They get called out at least once a day. The rescue team gets called out at least, well, 1.5 to 2 times a day. And they assist with our accidents, our cardiac arrests, and our lifting of patients to our ambulance and to take them to the hospital. So that's basically the makeup of the Public Safety Department. One of our things that we started 2 years ago is our K9 program. We had an opportunity because of a businessman, much like each of you, come to us and ask me what we needed for our police department that perhaps we can't afford to do right now because of the constraints of the budget. And we talked for a little while, and he went home and spoke with his wife a little bit, and then came back and said that they would agree to help start the K9 program for the city. And so because of that, we were able to purchase or hire a K9, and then Officer Grover, sitting in the middle over here, he was one of the officers that applied for the position. Corey's got 5 years of service with the police department right now, and because of his skills and his desire and his willingness to serve in this capacity, he was chosen to be our canine officer. We now have a second canine we just purchased this last month or so, and he is in training up in Salt Lake and trying to get as good as what Corey and Lord are doing for the community. Corey works, well, maybe he'll tell you this, but he works basically 4 days a week, and then the other 3 days a week he can get called out to work as well. So what we try to do, getting 2 dogs, is have officers on every day of the week, that 4 days, and then that center day train together, and then the other guy work the other 3 days of the week. So each day of the week we should have a canine on available to do work for the city. And I think that's what most of you want to see today, is a little bit about our canine program. But just in closing, I sent a letter to most of the businesses here in Spanish Fork this last week. Matt and I, Lieutenant Johnson and I drafted a letter up and sent it out to you about some of the services we can provide to you as a chamber, as businessmen, as actually even as citizens. And we have several different programs we'd like to come to you. We feel like if we can reduce crime, stop it before it starts, and then the better off all of us are. And so we do have some training that I gave a list of maybe 7 or 8 things on that letter. We offer much more than that. If you have anything you want of us, just let us know, and we'll, if we don't have the program, we'll develop it to help you out to better our community. And we do truly appreciate everything that the chamber does. You guys have a strong and loud voice within the city, and it's something that is a positive, strong and loud voice, and we do appreciate everything that you do.
It's Corey Grover, I'm with the police department, obviously. This is my dog. Anybody want to guess the breed? Belgian Malinois. Okay, he's not a German Shepherd. He looks similar to a German Shepherd, but he is actually a completely different breed. A Belgian Malinois. He's smelling all the pizza right now. He is now 6 years old. He just turned 6. I got him when he was 3. He is from Germany. He received a little bit of obedience training things in Germany. Basically, the process of how we end up getting these dogs is over in Europe, Germany, Holland, Czechoslovakia, all those different places, we'll breed these dogs. They'll ship them to the United States to kennels that will turn them into police dogs and sell them. So basically, we went out to a place called Adlerhorst in near Ontario, California 2 years ago. We go out there, they have about 50 dogs out there, and we start a testing process to see if these dogs exhibit the behavior that we're looking for. Basically, what we look for in a police dog is a dog that is highly driven in prey drive and hunt drive. Basically, a prey drive is something that he's doing right now, is wanting to destroy this toy. His drive is so high, all he wants to do is hunt this toy, chase this toy, kill this toy. That's all that's on his mind, 24 hours a day. That's all he cares about. That's all he wants to do. That's the kind of behavior we're looking for. So we test that, and then from there we test a dog that also will exhibit a drive to engage and bite a person. Now, a lot of police dogs get a bad rap for being aggressive. Some people say, oh, that dog's barking, oh, that dog's aggressive, look how crazy he is over that toy. It's not aggression, it's high drive. So he is also very social. He'll bite you, but he's social. He bites you based on it's a game and it's a lot of fun, and that's how I've been taught. Not I hate you and you're dangerous or anything else. So he doesn't know the difference between a bad guy, a good guy, a 5-year-old or a 100-year-old. They don't know the difference. It's up to me to make sure he understands what he's doing. So basically what I have him do is when we get him, we go through two 8-week courses of training before we're allowed to come out on the street. The first 4 weeks I do it's called detector dog training. Basically from there I teach him on narcotics. Now when we teach him on narcotics, he's on 4 different odors: marijuana, methamphetamine, heroin, and cocaine. He can smell all those odors, and I've taught him to indicate to me when he's found that kind of odor, so I know. Now he's not addicted to drugs, he doesn't know what drugs are, he's never tasted drugs, he's never touched drugs. Basically, we trick them into thinking that this toy here is all those smells. The way we do that is I'll get some actual real drugs, put them inside some plastic baggies, put those drugs in an airtight container with a whole bunch of toys. And over time, those toys will start to pick up the smell of those kind of drugs. We'll get out and play with the toy. So the drugs never touch it. They never even contact the toy, but the smells are there. So in his brain, he just is recognizing, oh, toy, this smell equals pleasure. And that's what I want. I want to find that. I want pleasure. I want to have fun. I want to play. So over time, we can start removing we can paw raw drugs. When his nose hits those drugs, he's been taught to sit and stare where that smell's coming from, and then this toy will appear in front of him, basically just by tossing it over to him, and it magically appears. So in his brain, if there's drugs inside this pizza box, it's popping out of the pizza. His toy popping out of the pizza box. So you'll see a focused, intense stare, waiting, because any second now it's going to pop out to me. So you'll see that, and I'll do a little demonstration. Lord, come here. So, pretty simple. Lots. Which kid? He's already forgotten. Thanks. Which kid? So, basically what I look for is a change of behavior in him to say, oh, I think I smell something. And he'll continue working that car and trying to find where that source of odor is coming from. And the alert, when I articulate that in a report, gives us probable cause to search the inside of the vehicle without a warrant. Okay? So, that's what we're looking for, is this dog just wants to find that source of odor. So basically the alert is, I smell it, where's it at? So he gets super intense and wants to get inside. When he finds the source, that's the indication of behavior that he's been trained to do. So that's in a nutshell how we work in terms of narcotics. A quick story that is one of my favorite stories. We pull over a car out on I-15, and we get the people out, sniff the car, dog alerts to the car, so we start searching it. We find a couple of items in the car, so we now can search the people because we found drugs, incident to arrest, we can search the people. Well, as we're getting one of the female occupants, she gets something out of her pocket, chucks it off the freeway into weeds about this high. It's about 11 o'clock at night, we can't see anything. From what I was told, it was about that big, and a little black case about that big. The officers are walking through there, we can't find it. I said, well, we just take the dog's leash off and he'll run around. He goes and runs around out in this field for a while, and I see him lay down in the grass. I go out there, right between his paws, he's got this little pouch, and inside was a little bit of methamphetamine that the girl had just thrown out. So, the amount of time that it would have taken officers to find it, we probably needed 15 officers, probably would have taken 2 hours. He did it in about 25 seconds. So, one dog can do work way faster than any amount of officers. Figure one guy searching for one bad guy in a warehouse, he can do it in a minute. 5 cops can do it in an hour. So it cuts down on time, and he's much safer that way. Okay, what was it, a year ago? Probably a year or so ago, I'm in Spanish Fork working. We get, I hear a call going on in Payson for a kidnapping, or a kidnapping suspect. They tried to locate a kidnapping suspect. He took off on foot and went into the middle of a neighborhood somewhere. So I'd heard that Payson had set up a perimeter in about a 1 or 2 block area where they thought maybe this guy was hiding. And anyway, I was in Spanish. They had not called for a dog yet. I heard them search around there, 10 or so officers for an hour or so. Finally, and the whole time I'm just waiting, hoping someone's going to ask me for help. And finally, somebody says, Spanish Fork's K9 out. So I head over there, and I park in front of a house. I open the truck, put his leash on, and I tell him, let's go find a guy. He immediately starts pulling up towards the house. I'm not even ready to search yet, but he's doing it on his own, pulling me. I thought, he's pulling me towards a boat. It's got one of those tie covers over the top of it. And I think, well, I think he's probably in that field. So I'm going to go put my back up on that boat, and then I'll deploy him out. As I go to put my back on the boat, the dog turns, jumps up behind my shoulder, and starts to bite and bark at the boat. His indication to, I found a bad guy, but I can't bite him, is a bark, so he'll bark. So I turn it around, draw a gun out, pull it up, and there's my suspect under the boat armed with a knife. Right where I was going to put my back up to where it goes. So had he not turned and found this guy, I don't know what would have happened if I had put my back up to it and sat there and watched my dog while he's sitting here head high behind me. I don't know, but had it not been for him, I would have had no idea that the guy was going to be there. So that's an example of the second we were out of the truck, he was able to wind scent human odor and pull me straight to it. Whereas obviously we can't do that. We shouldn't be able to wind scent people anyway. But so that's an example of taking a lot less manpower running one dog. Here. So what I can show you now, I don't know that you want to move to a wider area. You want to, if people don't mind, move a little bit. I'll show you a little bit of obedience first, and then we'll have some. If I stop, you should sit right by me. Thanks. Well, all these commands are good. Thanks. Lots. Link. Link. Flat. Sit. Sit. Flat. Sit. Flat. So that right there is like a normal obedience protocol every day. Essentially what he's doing all that for this toy right here, he knows that if he does it, he's going to get rewarded. So I use positive based training. Do what I say with things happening versus do what I say or I'll hurt you. I don't use that method of training. So everything we did when we pass the toy, down him before he gets it, turn around, coming back to him. He knows if he does those things, he's going to get the toy. That's basically obedience. So I'll go slow. What's that? Yeah. You ever use food also before? Always before. Occasionally you'll do food. Mostly the food training we would do for this tracking. So he's a tracking dog as well. Now when I say tracking, it's not, smell the bad guy's underwear and I go find it. We do a footstep ground disturbance tracking. So every time I step on the grass, I'm disturbing the ground in some way. Dog noses are sensitive enough that this step here smells differently than this over here. So I'm breaking blades of grass, pieces of my boot are falling off on the ground. If we can detect ground disturbance, we'll follow footsteps based on the ground disturbance. When we teach that, we'll put a footstep, put a hot dog. Footstep, put a hot dog. Now the dog's associated both the smell of the ground disturbance with the reward. So he wants the step. Eventually we start skipping a step, put a hot dog, skip a step. Now we don't need any hot dogs at all. Just a toy or a bad guy in there. That's how we can track this. So he's not very food driven. stay alive. Other than that, he wants that. That's all he does. In his mind, work is everything. If I get him out of kennel, get him out of practice immediately, what do you want me to do? I can't just sit there. Like right now, he's wondering, I might just leave.
So it's 18% action. Put it in the airtight container. He's smelling it. What is the toy actually made of that absorbs the scent, but also the difference fellowship?
So this toy is not a pet.
It's a regular.
And when I caught him and caught it, all I use is chocolate. So they're cheap, these toys are blown away. So I went and bought a whole bunch of chocolate, stuffed as many as I could into the container, and I brought them out. They absorb a lot of odor, and they themselves are not that smelly. They don't smell fresh. So I didn't want to use this. Because everything I touched on, I could move. So I could shoot cloth, I could grab it, shred it. As I was shredding, getting all inside that while absorbing all that odor. This is how we organize that's how good stand up straight. What you're seeing here, remember I said he'll bite in one spot only. So I can come in here and arrest this guy still. So I can put my hands here all over him and still be able to get him. Okay, to do one clean bite. 6. Yeah, I'm gonna come frisk you. This is what I'm going to do is called a handle protection. Basically, I'm going down the dog. You're going to search the weapon. Like you doesn't move, the dog will stay down. If he tries to assault me, the back 3 punches and everything, the dog will stay down and protect me. Lots. Eyes on me. Lots. Lots. I'll put him up, get him a drink of water.
Real quick, everybody, we want to thank Malawi's Pizza. It was awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and we hope to see you at the Chamber event real soon.